We'll bring this Department of Public Works Committee meeting to order. The agenda was posted in the clerk's office and other news and media per state law. Roll call, everybody is here. And we'll stand and do the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, everybody reviewed the consent agenda. I'll need a motion and a second to approve.
I so move.
Okay, we got a motion by Supervisor Schwab and second by Supervisor Hartwig. All approved, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, discussion items. Let's see, facilities report. Is there any comments that Scott, did you like to make, or?
If you have any questions, Karen, you can run through.
Okay, does anybody have any questions on discussion items? Facilities quarterly report or transit ridership reports? Or the Commuter Express?
If you don't mind, I take them one at a time.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I don't have a lot to say. We're on schedule for and we've completed a couple of our targets to keep us on schedule with regards to the key performance indicators. There just still remain a date that's incorrect with one of those where it says 7/29/22. It should actually be 7/29/23. So we're on target for hitting those goals. On our next page, we're actually ahead of schedule for the asset life span program, which is we ended up having somebody from the Sheriff's Department come and help us with data entry, which has been a big struggle for us. So we are actually ahead of schedule and feel really good about that. And the campus master plan planning portion of that is wrapping up now. And in the first quarter, we'll start presenting that throughout the county.
Awesome. Any questions?
Yes.
Not about the report, but about something you said in the report with getting assistance from the Sheriff's Department. I thought, I mean, was something specific with regard to the Sheriff's Department?
Yeah, so they have an individual that is currently injured and unable to perform their duties within the Sheriff's Department, but is able to do data entry. So we've got free help from the Sheriff's Department.
Very good.
Yes.
It was my understanding they were short-staffed. That's why I was surprised that they might be lending
it's somebody
assistance.
that they didn't have appropriate work in their offices for him to be able to handle. And we had a lot of data entry that we could get him working on. He actually helped with he went out and verified some of our assets for us. So he's been a really big help. We've had him for about 8 weeks now.
Very good. Thank you for the clarification.
How long will you have?
I think another couple weeks, maybe, is about what is going to be about the extent of it, but I'm not sure. I think he goes back for an assessment in January to determine if he's able to return to his regular duties. Yeah. Any other questions?
Anything else?
Nope.
Anything else we can?
Great, thanks.
Thank you. So transit ridership report. Still down?
The numbers were provided, and if you have any questions, we certainly be able to answer those.
Yeah. No, I think we kind of covered it last night and we'll be covering it in the future. Anybody else have any questions on this? Not, we'll move on to the Commuter Express report.
Joy will be taking this for us. As you know, we had a business owner meeting on Tuesday night, and Joe will kind of throw those results. The official results, the paperwork we have for that will be in your next packet. And we're able to get them in the packet in time to make sure the public can view them. So make sure that the results are in your packet for next time.
Okay.
Yeah, there are just a few outcomes that came out from that meeting, some specific comments on the options that were presented with the need for to get options. Oh, so need. Okay, need an option that gets employees to a central location near the west side of Hartford, such as the rec centers, those would change the actual route. And the request to serve the industrial park in the village of Jackson, rather than routing through residential areas. There are some questions about being able to continue to serve the VA and medical center with a flex ride option, and also serving the city of West Bend in industrial parks in the north side of town. Some of the concerns that came up had a lot to do with the reverse commute options and what that looks like, and being able to manage the schedules and connect them with the various shift schedules that we know employers have. And also concerns with the flex service itself, and that employers will not support employees arriving at variable times with an on-demand or flex option, which is a possibility. So we didn't get a lot of participant comments and feedback, forms and requests for more data, and to survey, which we are planning to do, to survey employers as one of our next steps. So we will be reviewing, considering changes based on the feedback from stakeholders. We're going to have another public meeting in January. We're looking at January 17th for that meeting. And it would be in the evening this time. So we would have a location, and of course this will be open to everybody. And we'll be working with Sewer Pack to get the word out too, and then they will be developing an online survey that we can send out to employers who are unable to attend. And so those who are unable to attend, and also just in general, we really need to get this feedback from the employers. That was one of the big takeaways I think from the night, is the lack of employers that actually showed up. So if we're looking for employment transportation and solutions within the county of Washington, then we need to hear from that group before we can have some really firm solutions.
Are there any comments? I know it was really well attended by Public Works Committee meeting members. We really appreciate that. If there's any comments you'd like to make or provide as well, like I said, I think we're going to get out a survey out to the people electronically to hopefully get some feedback from that challenge because it just didn't come to in person.
Sounds good. Jeff, did you have a question? No? Yeah.
It was interesting that there were comments about placement of drop off in Hartford and West Bend, and both of those have city cabs, and they don't seem to want to take a stake to help with the process at all. So I don't know anything we can do to encourage them. I don't quite know how we go about that, but I think it should be on our radar.
Great comment. Great comment. Thank you.
Anybody else?
January 17th, a good date for the committee. Hope obviously inviting the committee and the board as well again. So again, 2 days before your next committee meeting.
Are you thinking like 3 o'clock again and at the same location?
We're probably thinking around 5:30 to 6:30, 5:30 to 7, something around that
Okay.
range to allow those people that are using the current commuter express the time to get home and then still come there. Again, we'll also offer the online, when we get there to online survey if they can't make it, or if there's a weather condition or something like that evening. But we'd like to have it later in the evening to allow those people that are working during the day an opportunity to come there. We'll talk about that too. It might be more of an open house type of workshop. They can come learn a little bit and then not to stay for the full hour and a half commitment.
Yeah, definitely not as long or technical of a presentation for the community outreach meeting.
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions? Well, seeing none, we'll move on to action items. Resolution 2022 relocation order. I need a motion and a second to bring up to discussion.
And it's a motion.
I'll second that.
Okay, Supervisor Hartwig and second by Supervisor Krieger Gunrum. Is that, go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, you before you, there's actually two very similar resolutions. We are looking at reconstructing County Highway P in 2024. I'm going to talk about both the segments at once here, all the way from 145 up to Highway 60 in the village of Jackson. The preliminary plan was done in the early 2000s, with right of way being acquired in 2005. And leaking a little bit into 2006. You'll see on the map, there's just several of the hatched areas, looking at gaining additional right of way. Several locations, you'll see there's now houses there that weren't there back in 2005, or a house, or a house driveway, or businesses that weren't there that we need to have either a permanent easement right of way, or a temporary limited easement. I certainly can run through most of those for you and kind of go through what those are. You see the relatively minor areas. Look at the intersection of Sherman Road and Highway P. It's got a little bit of right of way because we are taking state funding. They do require that the vision triangles that you see are actually in an easement, so that someone can't put a fence up there or a tree or something like that. So again, that wasn't looked at in great detail back in 2005. We just had no idea we were going to get state funding for that project. But there's different driveways with the new residential development that came in on North of Sherman on the east side of the road. Double jig trucking, if you're familiar with that, is new. Carrying ingredients put in a driveway and a bypass lane on the northern section. So now we need additional right of way to help accommodate those type of improvements that happened over the last 17 years since we received the right of way. So again, most of them are temporary limited easements, which means we acquire the easement, we make the improvements, basically improving their driveway, or put the slope in, then the land reverts back to the landowners and stays on the tax roll. And then again, at the intersection of Sherman, we're doing a permanent limited easement, where again, the land is owned by the property owners, and keeps the ownership. We have an easement over there where they can't put anything over 2.5 feet high, so people can see over the top of it. They can put something small there. You see like a yard stand, sometimes a little, plastic ones that I want to put there, some shrubbery or something like that. As long as it's low, they can still put stuff in there. But if you have any questions there, or if you want to take through one through those areas, there's just a handful of them. And we're not even sure we're going to need all of them, but if we don't start the process now, we get stuck behind the 8 ball and can't get it later. So we definitely work with the new driveway that the Village of Jackson put in. We think we can make it fit, but they're not that far along in design to make sure. So kind of be cautious. See through like double J trucking, but we're pretty confident. We think we can fit in the current, but we just want to make sure it's functioning later on to do it.
Okay, does anybody have any questions on any of these?
Just a comment with regard to the lot at the northeast corner of Sherman and County Trunk Highway P. It probably won't matter, but the property owners there have applied for annexation to the village, so it'll, it shouldn't make a difference either way, but on the drawings, if someone would wonder about the accuracy of that.
Yeah, usually the thing comes in like minimum lot size, and so we certainly can provide Brian Clover at the Village of Jackson to make sure he's aware of what as you can see, it's a very minimal impact.
Absolutely.
But
Just wanted to point it out.
appreciate that we'll try to make sure that Mr. Colbert gets this, so they can make sure that the minimum lot sizes are still meant for zoning purposes.
Okay, any other questions?
At this point, I do have a question. At
Yeah,
this
okay.
point, have property owners already been contacted?
No.
Oh, okay.
I should say we had the open house back in April of this year. Excuse me. We had an open house where everyone who was on there was contacted by a letter to be there. We did talk to several of them that we knew. For instance, south end of the project, the driveway that's kind of goes up and over the hill, and his house is down low. We talked to him. We knew at that time we would need additional easement from him, so we did talk to them. But all these other ones have not been contacted yet.
Scott, what about that building that's a little tight on the corner of, on the east corner, southeast corner on Sherman and P? Is that gonna
Yeah, they originally put, if you look at his lines right through, they put an easement there originally. But we actually don't need that, so we negotiate for the permanent easement along the roadway. We'll take that easement out. We don't want the building can stay up. It's not in the way. If you stand there and properly stop, you can see past the building. It is close, but we're not looking at taking the building.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Seeing none, I guess we'll vote on item A first. I think we gotta split these up, right? Vote on item A. I don't need any more motions, right? Because we already opened it. So, okay. Right, item A, okay. So all approved, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Seeing that passes unanimously. And I guess to make it official, we should I need a motion to bring item B to the table. Okay, motion by Supervisor Schwab and second by Supervisor Hartwig. And any other questions on this one? We kind of covered them already. If not, we'll take a vote. All approved, say aye.
Aye.
Any unapproved? None, passes. Our next meeting is Thursday, January 19th at 4 o'clock. This meeting's adjourned. That was nice and short.